Et non, je ne suis pas la star que vous attendez. Non.
No, I'm not the star you were expecting, perhaps, but I am standing all the same on the steps of the Festival Palace in Cannes, the home of the Cannes International Film Festival. Well, 1939 marked the first pages of a great cinema story with the first film festival. But then war broke out, of course, and we had to wait until 1946 for the festival to settle in, you might say, and for the stars to return. But in fact, the story of Cannes began much earlier, back in 1834, when Lord Brougham passed through Cannes on his way to Italy. He was informed there that a plague epidemic was raging in Italy, and that decided him to stay put in Cannes. He found the place so pretty, he explored the area, and decided to build a villa for his daughter, the famous Villa Eleanor, which still stands today. And after all of this, the high society of Britain found its way here, but the area is very dry, so the British decided to build the Siena Canal to help irrigate their wonderful gardens. And that's when the palm trees started sprouting alongside the orange trees, lemon trees from Africa, eucalyptuses from Australia, and all this lush vegetation we have today in this absolutely fabulous setting. Karine, what is 3.14?
3.14 is pi, the mathematical number. Pi also are the initials of my father-in-law, Partouche Isidore, who created the Partouche Hotel Group, and of my son.
I find this hotel extraordinary. It's so different. It's like nothing else elsewhere. What gave you the idea to make a hotel like this? It's like a large house to receive friends. You get the feeling that a big family lives here and that everyone knows one another. But everywhere is different. Each floor is different. I've never seen anything like it anywhere. And why Africa? Why Asia?
Well, we have 5 floors and 5 continents: Europe, Asia, Australia, Africa, and America. You could almost give them the names of films.
You're right, it's like a film set.
You've hit the nail on the head.
Every floor is different. You get the impression you're in a different hotel at each level. It's astonishing.
It's like traveling. You change floors and you travel somewhere else. We had this basic idea, and I asked my sister, who's an interior designer, to give me a hand, since we shared our childhood and we've both traveled a lot, and we're both very different. We complement each other and work very well. That's the art of Feng Shui here. It's a Feng Shui Asian philosophy which promotes the circulation of energy within a living space or a workspace. It's based on 5 elements: metal, which is present everywhere, fire, wood, earth, and water. That's why we have fountains in the foyer place, especially to make you feel good when you come in. On every floor we have different aromas which remind me of the smells from my childhood. When my father used to come back from his travels, when he opened his suitcase, I could tell where he'd been.
Apparently everything's on sale here.
Yes, everything's on sale. The hotel's a vast boutique, a shop where you can buy anything and everything. You can even have curtains made to measure for your home.
Let's go and say hello to Mario Dorio, the chef.
I asked Mario to prepare food which is multicultural as the hotel itself. There. Okay, I've got a smoked salmon, 1 vegetable fricassee, 2 grilled sea bass, and 2 lobsters.
Moïse, bonjour, monsieur.
Moïse, bonjour, monsieur.
Oui, très bien.
How's things?
Propose des agneaux de cisteron, tu vois, ce sont des labels rouges. Hein? Donc,
we're preparing Cisteron lamb. They're red labels, so automatically they're top quality. And you can see the traceability, the distributor, the abattoir, the breeder, and the animal's weight.
Le numéro d'agrément de l'éleveur, et tu as le poids de la bête.
Ton secret, c'est d'aller la choisir sur place.
Absolument, absolument.
You actually go and choose them yourself.
I'll say I do.
You told me you had a farm in Normandy.
Yes, I'm a cattle breeder, but I wear 2 hats. We've got 300 acres and as many cows, but we also breed sheep.
Monsieur Mario, ça vous va? Ces petits carrés, là, de saucisson.
Dans la cuisine du 314, je suis avec Mario.
I'm here in the kitchen at 314 with Mario, the chef of this honourable establishment. Is it difficult to produce dishes from 5 different continents?
Not at all. It allows me to travel all around the world while staying right here. I travel.
Je voyage.
Ça, c'est merveilleux, non?
Merveilleux.
Donc, avant de commencer,
That's extraordinary.
indispensable.
Before beginning this sequence, let's have a little music from the Indies.
Parce que Mario nous emmène maintenant.
Why? Well, that's where Mario is taking us right now.
Au dal indien, il me faut
For the lamb tandoori, I need a rack of lamb supplied by my friend Moise, and by my friend Mario. Really nice, you see.
coriandre, curcuma,
Mustard
cumin,
seeds,
ail,
coriander, turmeric,
robert,
caraway
échalote,
seed, garlic,
lait de
lime,
coco,
shallots, coconut
lentilles
milk,
roses,
pink lentils,
yaourt, noix de
yogurt,
coco et piment. Gingembre,
coconut, chili,
là, je vais mélanger le yaourt
ginger and
indien.
olive oil.
Le yaourt
You're
indien,
going to mix the Indian yogurt into the spices. You can also use Greek yogurt. You can find more easily in the shops.
Alors, le curcuma, le cumin,
Mix in the turmeric, the caraway,
le piment,
coriander,
piment vert,
chili,
une pointe
and
d'ail
garlic,
et le gingembre.
the ginger, and a
Une
touch of
pointe
saffron.
de safran. Et je mélange le tout. Tout
I'm
simplement.
going to place all this
Je vais à présent
into this
mettre
bowl.
la marinade dans une plaque.
and into this plaque.
Alors le carré, je vais juste le dégraisser légèrement.
I'm just going to remove a little bit of the fat from this lovely tender rag.
Je vais inciser entre les côtes.
I'm going to make an incision between the
Juste le
ribs,
frotter au sel
rub in some salt
et à l'ail.
and garlic.
Quel parfum. Et je vais enrober dans cette
What an
marinade.
aroma. I'll cover it with the marinade and
Pour mariner. pendant
now I'll place it in the fridge for 4 hours to marinate so that all the fragrance penetrates deep into the meat.
Donc les lentilles que nous avons
And I'll
rincées
start cooking it.
pour enlever l'amidon, je mets dans une casserole.
We've washed the lentils to
Je
remove the
mouille
starch.
à hauteur avec de
Put
l'eau.
on a pan, I wet it with water like so.
Bien. Je rajoute le coriandre, les graines de moutarde,
I add the coriander, the mustard seeds, a pinch of salt, turmeric, the caraway, and let it cook for about 30 or 45 minutes, very gently so the lentils don't
Pour
explode.
agrémenter mon tas de lentilles, je fais chauffer une cuillère d'huile
To liven up my dish of lentils, I heat up a spoonful of olive oil with a little shallots, a hint of garlic,
un peu de tomate émondée, 2
Add some
tomates
tomatoes.
hachées
sweet trimmed diced tomatoes with the seeds removed,
et le piment.
and
Piment
some
vert haché.
green
Je
chili
vais ajouter
cut
dans
up
mes
fine.
lentilles en fin de
I
cuisson.
add to the lentils when they're nearly ready.
Après 4 heures de marinade, le carré d'agneau,
After 4 hours marinating, the rack of lamb's now wonderfully fragrant.
regardez comme il est parfumé, bien mariné.
Pour a spoonful of olive oil onto the bottom of the pan.
Ajoutez une cuillère d'huile d'olive au fond de la casserole.
Olive oil, just a
Alors, je
little
laisse
dash.
sauter quelques secondes
Sizzle for a few seconds.
et je mets au four. Alors je mets dans un four à 200
Then I'll
degrés.
place it in the oven. I set the oven at 220 degrees to season the meat. That'll take about 13 minutes.
Concassé de tomate au piment.
Now I'll add the crushed tomato to the chili.
Voilà. Je rajoute mon lait de coco en dernière minute.
I add the coconut milk at the very last minute.
Et parfumé, il est à point.
Very good. It's now nicely fragrant, just medium.
Du four.
Take out my rack of lamb from the oven.
Avec un fond de sauce.
Now I'll deglaze with a sauce base. I'll make a nice little sauce with all the juice left in the saucepan. Now I prepare the rack,
Je vais dresser le carré d'agneau.
add
Un peu de marinade qui me reste.
little of the marinade that's left over. It's really good.
Le dalle.
This is what I do on the a la carte menu. The Indian dal I now prepared in a separate little container. I lamb juice sauce.
Je décore avec quelques copeaux de noix de
I
coco.
decorate with a few coconut shavings, and there you have lamb tandoori with Indian dal.
Alors Bruno,
What do you think of it, Bruno?
Et je pense que les lentilles ont changé de couleur.
Well, I think the lentils have changed colour.
très ancienne recette
It's a
indienne.
very old Indian recipe. A tandoori is a stone oven with a very, very hot embers.
Très, très chaud.
And I changed the recipe by using a rack of
Carré
lamb.
d'agneau.
Alors qu'est-ce qu'on fait? On goûte?
On goûte.
Allez.
Okay, so what do we do now? Can we taste it?
Surprenant. Bon, ben maintenant, il faut que je me dépêche.
Amazing.
Je m'attends à la plage du Palm Beach.
Well, now I've got to get a move on, because Patrick Partouche is waiting for me at the Palm Beach.
Tu sais ce que je me disais là? Qu'il doit y en avoir de plus malheureux que nous.
You know, I was just thinking, there must be so many more unfortunate souls than us. It's so nice here, the gentle breeze, the tamarisk trees, but originally all of this was marshland.
Centuries ago, this is where the man in the iron mask was kept.
And behind is the island of Saint-Honorat.
Yeah, that's where Leonardo DiCaprio was imprisoned, or at least the original man in the iron mask.
And this is the island of Sainte Margaret.
Sainte Marguerite. But what's interesting is that the Palm Beach here was created because the owners of this land in years gone by had told the people in the town that it was a shame to leave it undeveloped, so they asked the town to find a developer, an investor. That's how Henri Roule came to build the Palm Beach. I love this place because it's a symbol of the Art Deco period. Tried to keep everything they could. They rebuilt the Palm Beach in the style of the times. It's this gambling hall that you had people like King Farouk, Baron Empain, the rich and famous coming here. Palm Beach is a myth among gamblers in Europe. In bygone days, people would come to Cannes in winter, but in the building of the Palm Beach, it was 6 months late, so the first place in Cannes to open in the summer. It was so successful, there were many fabulous parties, and the whole idea of summer season began at the Palm Beach.
Do you think in today's society that people still appreciate things like this?
I think there are still aesthetes around, people who like true things, who appreciate the past, who like to meet up in places that have a marked history.
But didn't I glimpse a restaurant with a nightclub combined?
Same old story, it's not a nightclub.
Tell me.
It's called the Workshop. There's a painter who works there all night. While the diners are eating and drinking, he paints.
Oh, that's original.
It's a lounge, and what's exceptional about it is that it's out of doors. You've got the sunrise, the Lorraine Islands as a backdrop, and the Bay of Cannes with the Théoul behind. It's sublime. To my mind, Palm Beach is much more than just a casino. It's a leisure center.
It's the whole thrill of fishing. You never know what you're going to bring in. That's what's extraordinary.
Surprise.
It's a bit like gambling. A gambler is the same. It's a gamble, like poker. You get something, or you don't. Too bad. To recognize a really fresh fish, you hold it by the tail. That's quality, that's the tops.
It's really magnificent.
They're great, really great. Wonderful specimen. That'll make a nice meal. In the Bay of Cannes you can catch about, any kind of fish. Not a lot, mind you, but there are lots of different kinds. Today we've got red mullet to make a soup, but we also catch John Dory's in season. And when sea bream are in season, we get them too. In theory, there should be rock lobsters too, but this year they're pretty scarce. And yesterday we had a procession to St. Peter, the patron saint. We said a few prayers to him, but he wasn't listening. He's not very nice, St. Peter.
I was delighted to get these lovely red mullets straight from the sea. I caught them myself.
They're still moving.
The scorpion fish is still wriggling.
Where are you taking me now, Mario?
To Japan.
What are you doing in Japan?
Cooking red mullet.
Well, they haven't got slit eyes, have they?
Of course not.
These are red bream that we got from the fisherman in Cannes this morning.
Yes, my friend Jean-Michel. I helped him pull in the net.
With the little Mediterranean prawns.
To prepare a red mullet in Amanori, I'll need some red mullet, of course, some prawns, zucchini, turnip, rosemary, carrots, some string beans, ginger, a few tomatoes for decoration, some citrus juice and some Amanori. Little meat juice and some rice vinegar. I'm going to start by making some citrus juice, so sugar, rice vinegar, rosemary, lemon juice, orange juice. And I reduce it all to a caramel. I'm going to remove the scales from the mullet and gut them, remove the fillets. I slide the blade very close to the bone. And there, make the cut. Remove the little sharp bones, which are very unpleasant in the mouth. Now I'll finish this sauce, just slightly caramelized. And I'll add a touch of meat juice. Now I'll make a little vegetable julienne. These are filaments from the vegetables, from the beans, which I'll embellish a little on this side. Little Asian sort of style. Make the julienne slightly crispy to garnish my mullet. Add some turnips, the chopped ginger, a pinch of caraway. Very important. Finally, the zucchinis, because they cook quite quickly. Place the julienne between two fillets. I fold one over. Now I'm going to wrap it Japanese seaweed style called amanori. Wet it a little. You have to be very careful when wrapping the mullets in the seaweed. Here I now place the prawns in a warm frying pan, not too hot, so as not to make the shell go too hard. In the same pan, I place the mullets alongside. I put the julienne in alongside. Now it's ready to be prepared for the table. I begin with the prawns. Little julienne. It's a whole art of getting the prawns to hold on. Bruno, look, the prawn's in love. It's holding the mullet in its arms.
Listen, Mario, this is more than nice. It's a genuine love story. Dear friends, you can't eat a love story. You can only gaze and admire. I don't understand. There are people who say that life is hard. Okay, but in my opinion, on the top floor of the 314 hotel with a swimming pool, this is close to heaven. I'm having a drink, not just any old drink. This is a super fruit cocktail. And behind me, you can see the architect has built two large domes, which were inspired by the breasts of a beauty of yesteryear called Belle Otero. If you're looking for peace and quiet, far from the glitz and glitter of the Croisette and the traffic, you must come here to Le Suquet, the old town. Le Suquet. Le Suquet means the hilltop, and here on this hill, the people of Cannes built this village. From here, they warded off all the invaders, the Ligurians and all the others. But here today, they no longer ward off the tourists because they need them to prosper.
Some cucumber, natural organic products, and homegrown vegetables.
We're back on the Riviera, which we've never really left, in fact. And I know you're going to make us a little Riviera lemon sponge cake with lemon coulis.
Absolutely. For the lemon sponge cake, I need some lemon thyme, some lemon, butter, eggs, flour, powdered almonds, sugar and water to make the sauce. To start with, I'm going to blanch my egg yolks in 80 grams of sugar. Blanching consists of stirring it round quite quickly so the sugar doesn't cook the egg yolk. Now I'll add 110 grams of soft butter. I dilute it with the lemon juice. Now 75 grams of powdered almond and 45 grams of flour. I add a touch of lemon thyme, and there you are. Now I'm going to whisk up 150 grams of egg white. Whisking involves getting air into the egg white to make it lighter. We whip, we turn and lift the egg whites. Now I mix the two parts together. Add just a little bit of cream. And I blend in the egg white into my lemon cream. This is called cutting in French. Couper. There, the mixture is ready. Now I'm going to prepare a circle for the cooking. I make a strip we call the cheminée or chimney, covered with a little butter and flour to avoid that the sponge sticks to the circle. I'm going to fill them up, making sure I don't go over the edges. Now I'll let the sponge stand for a while I make the sauce. For the sauce, I simply mix the lemon juice with 75 grams of sugar, add the rind and reduce it by a third. Now I've been cooking the sponge cakes for about 10 minutes at 200 degrees. And now I'll need to arrange them. They pop out all by themselves. Now I add a personal touch to the lemon sauce. Just a little touch, some fresh lemon juice, and there you have a lemon sponge cake in lemon sauce.
Let me taste it.
You like it?
It's a dream.
Olha que coisa mais linda, mas cheia de graça. Ela menina que bem que passa, doce balanço o caminho do mar. Moça do corpo dourado, do sol de Ipanema, esse balançado é mais que poema, na coisa mais linda que eu já vi passar. Oh, porque estou tão sozinho.
I saw some nice little shops in the Rue d'Antibes and some others on the Croisette. And I reckon this is my lucky day. So I'm off to my favourite haunt in Cannes, the Palm Beach. I sense I'm going to strike lucky. So here I go.
Je sens que c'est mon jour aujourd'hui, j'y vais.
Merci. Faites vos jeux.
sont faits, rien ne va plus.
This is all I've got left. But I'm not going to complain, because I've had lots of fun. And you know where I'm going now? Back to my ovens. There's nothing else I can do.
A beleza que não é só minha, que também passa sozinha. Ah, se ela soubesse que quando ela passa, o mundo sorrindo se enche de graça e fica